Okay, Fortnite crew. It is Team Review Tuesday, which as video releases on Wednesday, but as a stream happens on Tuesday. We're doing this live. Say hi to YouTube chat. But every Tuesday, I'm going to be taking submissions from my $20 and up Patreons and just reviewing them on stream to, you know, just do a review, you know. Try out your teams in one big super video and then give feedback about what I thought about them. The first team that we have today comes from Club. Let's go ahead and go to our training tab. Replica teams. That's enough saying hi to YouTube. You know, YouTube doesn't want to hear you guys. Full screen. There you go. Build teams using ID. Get rid of this. This one is 4-2 R6E. CAF7A. All right, and this is a Hisuian Samurai Lucario team. Mega Lucario at that. Looks like we got a Focus Sash, Rockhead, Arcanine, standard move set, except with Rock Slide over Protect, which I respect it. We have a Choice Scarf Samurai, which I think is pretty sick. We got Max Speed, Max Attack, Life Orb Garchomp, standard-ish moveset. I guess standard, not standard-ish. Fast Frostlass, Fast Lucario. The Mega Lucario is going to be the interesting one. And we have a Sinistcha for, I guess, you know, a Trick Room option into faster teams, but also just like reversing Trick Room into slower teams. Let's try it out. These are training tickets. Now for these, I'm going to basically be grabbing 2 or 3 games and then giving a little bit of feedback and then moving on to the next one because there's a lot of teams to get through. All right. Ranked battles. Normally I do these on my alt account, but my alt account doesn't have enough Pokemon right now. Like, you guys are cooking. And like, the type of cooking you guys are doing, I don't have like the standard ingredients. It's kind of like when have you ever tried to make like a Knefe? I think I pronounced it right, Knefe, or Knefa. It's like a, you know, this Middle Eastern dish, and it's like a dessert, and it has things like, you know, rose syrup, or like orange syrup, and phyllo dough, and just like this particular type of cheese. You have to usually go to like a specific kind of grocery store to get those things, and I don't got one of those grocery stores on my other account, you know. I got Walmart. I have my Walmart Pokemon. I can build any standard meta team on my alt account. Not what you guys are cooking. If you were to submit right now, could you do it? Yeah, you could submit right now, you know. I have time today, you know. But I'm doing this every week. All right. I'm probably going to request that next week people add some notes about matchups because you guys are kind of cooking out there in a way that I'm not familiar with, so I might not pilot it the best in the first attempt. That's why I always try to give it 2 or 3 games. So next week we'll humbly request that there's notes added. Okay. Frostlass looks pretty good here. My only concern is the existence of Aegislash, which actually Samurai kind of deals with. Samurai kind of deals with Aegislash pretty well. But Arcanine also deals with it. So Frostlash Arcanine looks pretty good. I'm going to bring the Sinistcha, and I think Final Mon Garchomp makes sense. Let's try that. I'm adding notes in chat. Please look. The chat's scrolling too fast. Add it to the Discord. Edit your post in Discord with a couple of notes. Gardevoir, Sableye. Is this going to be like Hypnosis Guard with like gravity? Does Guard get Hypnosis? I think it does. Hold on. It does get Hypnosis. If I had to guess, it would be Hypnosis. Let's get a Veil up. I don't mind locking Rock Slide here. I could also just Head Smash the guard, truth be told. I'm going to get rid of it. This is a certified get rid of it moment. Protects, that's fine. Light screen? Sounds good to me, man. Where we're going, we don't need a light screen. Alright, I'm actually fairly confident that I don't even need to lock Head Smash now. We'll just go for Shadow Ball. I can also Blizzard Head Smash, and actually, I'm fairly confident Blizzard Head Smash would do the job, but I'm also confident Blizzard freaking Flare Blitz would do the job. It's an Arcanine. He's got it. I don't need to risk it. Yep. That's why. That's why we switch moves. And they don't have a Reflect Up and Sableye Frozen. It's fine. It's fine. Cricketune guy, thank you for all the gift subs. Appreciate you. Gardevoir lives, unfortunately. 20 gift subs. Cricketune guy. Are you the same Cricketune guy from literally like the regional? Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They just forfeited. Yeah, Club, you're going to get a third game with this team. Also, everyone on YouTube who just got gifted a membership, I gotta throw it out there. Join the Discord. Your membership, you know, we have tournaments in here. If you're like a $5 member and up, you know, you can do that, right? But also, if you're just like a base member, we have a bunch of fun stuff that we do every week. So I'm gonna send you guys the link. Join the Discord. You won't regret it. There's a lot of fun stuff that we do in here. I'm gonna send that in there. Everyone, make sure you connect your YouTube account to your Discord. And you'll be able to do that. All right, let's continue. Okay. The air variation is probably better. H Arcanine was more fun. You can pick whichever one you prefer. The build, Lucario's built to one-shot Chople Gambit, max bulk Float with no Life Orb Chomp, and no bulk Life Orb Chomp. Samurott beats Gambit, Basque, Dango, Zard. Yep, with no Sun Up, which is why Frostlass is there. Sinistcha is there for redirection. This build to live. Max attack, Black Glass is Kowtow. With Trick Room to reverse because this team hates Trick Room. Yeah, okay. Arcanine was added over Arrow because Fire Type helped the team out. I agree. I like Arcanine over Arrow quite a bit. This is certainly a matchup. I'm trying to think here. We actually benefit quite a bit from Trick Room, which is really funny. I think into this team, they're more likely to bring Delphox than Floette. So Hisui and Samurot's actually really good. Scarf Hisui Samurot's actually terrifying for them. Let's go ahead and lead with Scarf Hisui Samurott Frostlass. I'm going to bring the Arcanine in the back. And I think Sinistcha. I think the redirection's going to be good. Yeah, it's just Big Six with Delphox instead. All right. So we face Rhea. Okay, not the lead I wanted, but the lead I deserve. Samurot's got to be faster than Basculegion, right? What's Hisui Samurot's base speed? I think we're 1 point faster. Samurott Hisui 85. Yeah, okay. So here's the thing. I know that Floette can just KO us. I just don't care. It is so worth getting rid of Basculegion. I'm just going to do it. And Blizzard is just good damage, yeah. It is worth it. This covers for, like, Sash Basket Legion, too. They withdraw. King Gambit comes out. Oops. I made a horrible play. Look, we can also just freeze it. Check this out. You guys ever heard about freezing Pokemon? It came free with my Nintendo Switch Plus. Okay, that's pretty respectable for resisted physical damage on a King Gambit. Now check this out. This came free with my subscription. Moonblast. We live the Black Glasses, Sucker Punch, and Sun. We did lose Samurott, which is a little bit annoying, but we have Arcanine, so it's not that bad. Especially considering we can just Veil up here. Veil Flare Blitz is pretty reasonable. Lets us dodge a Sucker Punch. Did you see my super? I did not. Where's your super? Here it is. What will the next PowerPoint presentation be? Look, I'm not going to try to do a bunch of PowerPoints. I don't want to, like, steal Lorelei's thing. Lorelei's very good at PowerPoints. If you want VGC PowerPoints, go follow Electric Wind Girlfriend. You know, she's good at that. I'll maybe do them once in a while because it's fun, but, you know, don't expect too many from me. Don't expect too many. What protects? Fine by me. Ooh, no protect or sucker punch. No protect or sucker punch. Sorry, buddy. Listen here, buddy. I'm making money. All right. It was so good, though. Maybe I'll make another. I'm not gonna, like... maybe. I'll probably do, like, a live lecture, if anything. I think that's fun, right? I'll probably stream it, if anything. Alright, probably just Basket Legion here, realistically speaking. Which, with Veil up, I'm pretty sure we take Last Respects. Right? I would imagine. Let me check. Frostlass, offensive Veil, Mega with Veil up. Where's the Veil? Oh, it's Whimsicott. Okay, that changes things. Okay, I know what I need to do. Okay, we just barely live that. I like Flare Blitz Blizzard. Yeah. This covers for a few things. Okay, we got locked in. My bad. It's fine. Good news is I can stop a hypothetical Tailwind. Hypothetically. Do I even need to stop a Tailwind? It's probably Scarf anyways. Like, if it's Scarf anyways, shouldn't I just Rock Slide? No, I minimize the damage by extreme speeding. Well... Okay, I see the value in just KOing Floette here. Because if they decide to go Basque, like, this is a good turn for me. Extreme Speed's a move I'm so glad is in the game. Exactly. Okay, if we KO here, we're in a really good spot. They protect. That's fine. That's fine. I do get redirection. Actually, is it fine? Hold on. I don't have protect. Do get redirection. Ah, this could be really bad. I don't know if I can KO Basket Legion in one hit. When I keep getting disconnected from chat, something's going on with YouTube chat. I don't know what. Alright, if they wave crash here, we're in a good spot. Light of Ruin. Do we live that? I don't know if we do. We do. Cool. Wave crash. They definitely wave crashed if they did that. Oh, also, they're not Scarf. They are not Scarf. Beautiful. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, you're both Rock Slide range. And your Life Orb. Beautiful. Good game. Cool. Wasn't Scarf the whole time. Okay, let's get one more. And then we'll switch teams, and I'll give you a little bit of a review. This channel is partnered with Gamersubs. If you want to support my work and get great tasting drinks, you can order Gamersubs through my link in the description down below, or with code Moxie boosted at checkout for 10% off. Gamersubs is a caffeinated product that I recommend only to my 18+ viewers, but my link will send you to their caffeine-free product section just in case. Every product purchased through my link supports my channel financially, so I'd really appreciate the support. Now back to the video. Why are you staring into our souls? The chat is on a teleprompter, and the camera's behind the teleprompter, so when I read chat, I stare into your souls. At first, I thought maybe I should move it, but, like, it's too funny. It really is too funny. Alright. Let me think. Thank you for the $2 super chat, King Club. We are just 2 super chats away from Beedrill Nation later. It's a sand matchup. It's probably where Lucario finally thrives. Lucario Garchomp, maybe? You can even make a case for literally Lucario Frostlass, which is really funny. Sydney's good. You know, I'm going to go Lucario Samurott. Let's use the feature mons. It could be fun. I do have to bring Arcanine, though. I need a way to break Corviknight. Alright. Make that one chat. I want the B. Thank you, Matt Kenny. I appreciate you. Okay, so here's a fun fact. Lucario in its base form has inner focus. However, this is not a safe way to get rid of anything. I'm actually going to double. Here's why I'm going to double. Because close combat certainly one-shots the Raichu, and I'd like to believe in my heart of hearts that a Scarf Sacred Sword will KO a Mega Raichu X. And thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who donated. We're doing Lucario City. Thank you to Dan. Thank you to King Club. Thank you to Matt Kenny. Thank you to everybody. They can only fake out one of these Pokemon, and if they don't fake out the guy, the Samurott, I have a feeling we're gonna just one-shot the Raichu. I guess I should have locked Aqua Cutter. Okay, cool. Raichu's gone, and I can relock Aqua Cutter. Oh crap, it's Scarf. However, my Scarfmon is scarier. Goodbye, Pikachu. Nice. Yeah, it's Scarf T-Tar. Scarf T-Tar's been picking up lately. Here's Garchomp. Pokemon fun fact. I'm gonna lock Sacred Sword because I'm actually not convinced that I get the one-shot with Aqua Cutter because I'm a coward. Pokemon fun fact. Goodbye Garchomp. Unless you're Sandvale, in which case, goodbye me. I'm not familiar with Hisuian Zoroark calc, so I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk it on Aqua Cutter. Ka-dunk. That last Pokemon is almost certainly Corviknight. All right. Well, we got a 3-peat. And I like all the Pokemon on the team. I like the concept of Scarf, Hisuian Zoroark. We didn't get to see a lot of Lucario in the 3 games I got with it. But if I had to rate the team, on can it or cook, can it being get rid of it, start over, and cook being on the more positive end of things, we're gonna go with Scarf Hisuian Zoroark is a cook. This is a cook. I like the duo of Samurott Frostlass. I think they cover each other really well. I think that, to be honest, Lucario could be the weak link of the team. Like, to be honest, just going hard into Frostlass, like, with these Pokemon is already fine. Lucario just feels like it's there specifically for the Sand matchup. And if I had to actually give you a better Pokemon for the Sand matchup that also just, like, synergizes with the rest of the team, probably, like, Mega Staraptor. I think that Mega Staraptor Frostlass is already, like, a really solid duo. So we're going to give Club a cook on this one, and we are going to give it back with the advice of maybe Mega Staraptor over Lucario, but it's still a very, very, very solid concept. I like this one. This is a very fun team. Okay. You have cooked, sir. Okay. Next up, we have a team from... I owe a team review to Gabriel Shoyo, which I believe I have to make manually because there is no rental code. So I am going to do that really quick and pause the recording. So next up, we have... I unpaused, don't worry. Next up, we have a team from Gabriel Shoyo, one of my $20 Patreons. And this team is pretty interesting because I've always described Camerupt as expensive Torkoal, basically. You know, someone in chat said it, but like, yeah, that's correct. It's an expensive option to Torkoal. But this team seems to be trying to make the most out of Camerupt by just guaranteeing by all means it gets the one shot, even if it means also having Torkoal on the team. One thing that's really interesting here is that the Torkoal, instead of having coverage moves, is actually running Helping Hand to help the Camerupt, I would assume. It just seems to be Hard Trick Room. Hard Trick Room with a Scrafty and, you know, a Helping Hand for Heatwave Camerupt. in Sun. So, should be interesting. I don't think it'll be terribly hard to pilot. I do think that going all in with Camerupt is strange, but it should still be fun. That awkward moment where you said Camerupt didn't have Eruption. I meant to say it doesn't run Eruption, but yeah. All right. Let's see. Tongue Warrior. Okay. Sure, I suppose, you know. All right. Staraptor. This can be a great Camerupt matchup, but it's going to be a little scary. And yeah, I suppose Torkoal then, right? Camerupt is kind of real. I think Camerupt is real. I just feel like running it with Torkoal, like you just want to use the Torkoal at that point. You know, why am I helping handing Eruption when I can just Eruption and Heat Wave? Or why am I helping handing Heat Wave when I can Eruption and Heat Wave, you know? In all likelihood, just gonna be Protect. Let's go ahead and U-turn out of there. Frostlass probably feels safe. Aerodactyl's probably gonna Protect to try to burn one of my Trick Room turns. Because if I don't Final Gambit immediately, then I have to manually switch, so I'd rather just U-turn. Okay, no Protect. I can go into Coal here pretty safely, but I think I'd rather just go Camerupt, because if I go Torkoal and I get Rock Slided on, it's going to be a lot worse than if I go Camerupt here. Let's see if it's Veil. Life Orb Aerodactyl's nuts. I've never seen that. Blizzard. Okay, they're just going to let me do this. Unfortunately, Camerupt goes down, but... Oh yeah, crit. Cool. Torkoal does come out. If they even... Look, if they don't have Wide Guard, I win. If they do have Wide Guard, I don't. That's kind of what it comes down to. I'm going to say something. They have a Life Orb Aerodactyl. There's no Wide Guard. There's not a doubt in my mind that there's no Wide Guard on that team to even speak of. There's no way. Okay, Life Orb Wide Guard. Sure, I suppose. All right. I think we just lose. Sack the Future Mount. That wasn't meant to be a sack. It just crit it. All right. Luckily, we still have Weather Ball. That's an option. Psychic should KO Aerodactyl. Weather Ball should one-shot Frostlass. It's not over, it's just extremely over. Withdraw the Frostlass. Now I don't have Weather Ball. Basque Legion comes out. It's going to take a lot of damage, but not enough. Maybe. Maybe. Here's Whimsicott. Truth be told, I don't see the harm in doubling the Basque. Okay, they don't know how the ability works. We can win this, is the funny thing. The fact that we might win this game is actually insane. Hmm. It's the last turn of Trick Room. They haven't protected yet. I'm gonna KO the Whimsicott. They don't know how this ability works. They genuinely don't know. Okay. Probably just gonna click Blizzard. Is there any way I can win this? Okay, I have to protect. I'm trying to think what's the best way to win this. Hold on. Protect Eruption on the Blizzard? No. I can't go hard into my Scarf Staraptor. Because I'll just die to Blizzard. And they're gonna Blizzard here. Sure, let's just Eruption. Ah, it didn't KO. I was hoping it would KO. Okay, now we switch plans. Now it's going to be a Helping Hand Torkoal angle. Three turns left to Snow. I try to Trick Room. I probably fail. And I protect Torkoal. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be Helping Hand. Hope for a crit Brave Bird. If I crit, that's my win con. Because with the Snow up, it's not going to KO. We don't have enough attack investment. Or maybe we do. Good game. I figured it'd be a little bit bulkier than that. Why doesn't Scarf Raptor run Scrafty or run Scrappy? Why don't you check on that? Why don't you check on why they wouldn't run Scrappy? That's a good question. Let's look into that. Cool. Yes, I did unpause the recording, don't worry. Aaron. All right. Ooh, okay. Staraptor. Staraptor Scovelin's kind of nuts. Ew. I mean, I think that if we get Trick Room up, we're just fine. If they don't have a way to stop the Trick Room, it's kind of just free. I don't see how they guarantee the Trick Room stop. Oh, error occurred. All right, let me in, please. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, yes, quite interesting. Fun fact for you. Actually, if that's Taunt Annihilate, they could totally stop this. And a lot of Annihilate do actually run Taunt right now. It can also be Coaching Ape, though. And if it's Coaching Ape... Let me look at this team. You know what? I just have to believe it's not Taunt Annihilate, unfortunately. I have to believe it's not Taunt Annihilate. This is not a Cybertron. This is not Cybertron. This is not a Cybertron team. Alright, are you Taunt? Bulk up? Sure. Alright. I still Final Gambit just to get the free switch. Psychic the Star after Final Gambit. It's just guarantees that I, like, get value out of the turn. Because they shouldn't be able to one-shot my Farigiraf. At least I don't think they should be able to. Drain Punch. That's fine. A little bit more damage here. Now the question is, do I believe that Earth Power will KO? Do I believe that Earth Power will KO? It should KO Garchomp from this range. It's the Annihilate that's an issue. And I wish I could go for Helping and Heat Wave. I just don't think that Helping and Heat Wave does enough. And there's 3 turns left to Trick Room. But I do think that Psychic Heat Wave would do enough. So let's just do that. Cool. Ooh, maybe Psychic Heat Wave doesn't do enough. Okay, it does. Cool. And if they don't pick up a KO this turn, Helping and Heat Wave gets everything. Rage Fist? I'll live that. Oh, yeah. All right. 2 turns left to Trick Room. I think I'm good. Staraptor. Two turns left to Trick Room and absolutely no switch-ins. We're fine. I just have to not miss. If I don't miss, we're fine. Okay. All right, everybody. Torkoal time. They're like, oh, thank God I got rid of the real problem Pokemon. And it's just like, hello, my name is Torkoal. My hobbies include clicking Eruption and winning games. Thank you very much. Please, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. No Eruption on camera, just curious. Heat Wave with Sheer Force is just generally better. Because I believe even though the damage is lower initially, it's just more consistent. All right, Trick Room's over. Last Mon Golden Go, yeah, we're fine. They're at -2. Weather Ball picks up this thing, and then I have, like, a lot of opportunities to Weather Ball again. They have to crit Shadow Ball to win now. Unless they're Sash Golden Go, which is a thing. I have seen that. I've run it. It's just not common. Uh-oh. Better not be Sash. Okay, good. I was going to say, the no Life Orb is concerning me, because it could be Sash, but, yeah. Okay. So far, we haven't dropped a team, or we haven't dropped a game with any of the teams we've been sent. I don't think I need another game with that team, frankly, just to, like, be able to give, like, a good response to, like, how I think the team's built. I think the team's built fine. It's just, like, kind of a standard hard Trick Room team, just with one weird inclusion, and that's Torkoal and the Camerupt. My only feedback is this. If you're running it as explicitly it's a gimmick to use Torkoal and Camerupt at the same time, then I don't really have any notes, right? That's exactly how I would do it. However, well, I guess I do have a note. However, if it is meant to be a just optimized hard Trick Room team, drop one of these two. Doesn't matter which one. I personally would say Camerupt, but drop one of these two for a Sylveon, so you have fairy type damage and more options for spread damage under Trick Room. And the last thing is, I really don't think you want Drain Punch on Scrafty. Scrafty should probably be close combat, just because on Trick Room, you're not worried about sustain, you're worried about taking KOs. That is your #1 goal, take the KO. So yeah. When are we doing Beedrill? After we're done with all the team reviews, we'll do Beedrill. But yeah, that's my feedback. I like the team. From a scale from can it to it cooks, I'm going to give it a light it cooks. It's a Trick Room team, so it fundamentally is like pretty easy to pilot. But I think that like there's some optimizations that can be made. So a light cook. It's going to be a light cook. But still a positive experience overall. All right, next team. Okay, next up we have a team from my $20 member. Sorry, I have to pull up the page. $20 member Wonk. They're sending in this team. I'm going to type in the code 24FW N9WC04. This is interesting. They said this is their favorite team on ladder right now. It is a Pyroar team. Helping Hand Torkoal Pyroar is already a tried and true combo, especially when you pair it with Floette, because Mega Fire type Mega Floette dual combo, always strong, lets you deal with any situation you need. What I find compelling about this team is the existence of a Scarf Vanillux. Vanillux is kind of like if Alolan Ninetales was slower but hit way harder, because what's Vanillux's special attack set? It's actually like pretty impressive for a Pokemon with the ability Snow Warning. The thing keeping people from running Vanillux, frankly, is that it's Vanillux. I think that people just disrespect it, like, conceptually. Vanillux has, yeah, 110 special attack, which, for reference, Alolan Ninetales has 81, and Abomasnow has 92. It is the highest base special attack on a Blizzard Mon, a Blizzard Spam Mon, rather, that isn't a Mega Pokemon. Also, I'm going to switch my controller because it's dying. Give me a second. But yeah, this should be fun. We don't have any matchup notes, but 144 speed times 1.5. Is that faster than Basculete? I always forget Basculegion's actual stat, and that's an issue. Basculegion at level 50. Max speed Adamant is 130, and then Jolly is 143. So it's 1 point faster than Basculegion, meaning that we can freeze dry it. Hopefully one-shotting. I have no idea if we actually can, but should be fun. We got Sunny Day Tailwind Encore. And we have the Pyroar. This is definitely a make or break team where it's like you either win immediately or you lose immediately. That's what it kind of feels like on the team builder. All right. Let's grab some games. Currently, we're on a pretty decent win streak in Master Ball tier. Where'd you go? There it is. All right. Also, thanks to everyone who's following on TikTok right now. We go live every day at 2:30 CST. Trying to make that too. Okay. This team is kind of scary for this team. I mean, like, Mega Pyroar should be in a pretty good spot with Tailwind. The only issue is that it's resisted by like half the team. It's resisted by half the team, which is a little frustrating. Torkoal's kind of necessary, but we also need the Tailwind. Basculegion's going to be nice. I'm thinking... And it hurts. It hurts to think. I really don't know how we lead versus this. Basculegion's questionable. It's a bulky Bask at the very least, which can be nice. This might be a Floette game, truth be told. I think it's a Floette game. No, it's not Calm Mind. All right, let's go for this. Let's go for this. I'm thinking it's just going to be a Basculegion lead. Because I'm pretty sure it's just going to be Whimglim. Whimglim's a good lead. Yep. Shuka Torkoal. Yeah, that's kind of standard on, like, Pyroar teams. Not that Pyroar's standard at all, but it is, like, the preferred way to run it. Unfortunately, we are going to have to give them something here. Have to match the Tailwind right now. Late game, it's going to suck. For now, it's worth it. Because I can get Pyroar in immediately. Okay, they didn't match Tailwind. I'm thinking that they're just going to double my Whimsicott and stagger the Tailwind. If they don't KO my Whimsicott, I'm sure they are, but like if they don't KO the Whimsicott, I do have a good turn here by encoring them. There we go. All right, like I said, they're just going to stagger the Tailwind. But not in that bad of a position, to be honest, because they have to hand over Whimsicott. Like it's mandatory to hand over Whimsicott here. I definitely lock Last Respects. Not lock. I'm so used to saying lock for Basculegion, but I Last Respects the right slot because it just catches everything. Heat Wave up. I wish we were Overheat over Flamethrower, just because I think Overheat is a nice button to just nuke something. Their Spiky Shield, they're going to Tailwind up, they're going to stagger it. If they don't, I'd be surprised. There it is. I don't think that we end up in Sucker Punch range on King Gambit, and this is why I doubled. Because they're usually something to at least survive a Fire-type move. Even though the Focus Sash is taken. You know, I wanted to cover for Akaberry. Alright. Don't worry, I unpaused the recording, everybody. Alright. I don't hate this position. If there's a Pult, there's the Pult. Okay, I hate this position. We can go Torkoal here, because I think Pult is forced to attack Basculegion. I'm going to Heat Wave. And I would imagine it's like special Pult if they're going into it this quickly. It's probably like Draco Shadow Ball. Could be physical. If it's Phantom Force, whatever. Cool. Alright, that's why we went Torkoal there. This is actually really good, because Phantom Force is going to go first, and now I'm able to Helping Hand my Heat Wave. The only question is what's next to the Dragapult. I think I have one more turn of Tailwind, so it shouldn't matter too much. If it's a King Gambit, it's going to be a little bit annoying, but I think we're actually in a pretty decent spot. It's probably Delphox, though. Yeah, that's the problem. Do I think that I can one-shot Dragapult? I don't. I don't think I can one-shot Dragapult. But I do think that Heat Wave Weather Ball would do it. Because they're more likely going to Psychic the Pyroar, and I think Pyroar can tank one. Yeah, and I still got one turn of Tailwind. I gotta go for it. I don't think they double Torkoal. Torkoal's not a threat. It's entirely the Pyroar. And I think I can eat a Psychic. I don't know. It depends. Cool. Sun boosted Heat Wave into Weather Ball. Life Orb. Okay, that helps. That helps. Oh, we're faster than the Delphox. That's actually huge. I think we get it now. I actually think we get it now. Okay. Unfortunately, we go down here. Last turn of Tailwind doesn't really matter that much. That's the last turn of Tailwind. What matters is the Sun. Which... there's still 3 turns of Harsh Sunlight, which isn't good. I gotta run a calc. Time to run a calc. Can we eat this hit? Adamant with Mystic Water into Delphox with Sun active. Psychic is gonna do 67 maximum. We have bulk too, right? Ah, crap. Okay, it's fine. Alright, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Alright, we're gonna take a little bit of damage here. I Helping Hand, do I KO? %68%? Yeah, I should KO if I don't low roll. So I think I'm fine. I have to low roll to not KO. It's Mystic Water. I think I got it. It could also just be bulky and then I lose. I'm willing to risk it. I lose. Well, maybe. Yeah, I lose. Ah, okay. It happens. It was bulky, but I also low rolled. It's both. I should have just gone for the attack. I did have another route there, but I wasn't willing to risk it because then I always lose if I fail. Wave Crash was the play. Delphox is faster. Yeah, it is. So Delphox is faster, right? It's really easy. All right, this is my favorite thing as a Pokemon streamer. People will like see you make a play that is nuanced. It is a genuinely nuanced play because there's a couple of things that could have happened there, right? I could have protected, right? I could have protected and gone for Weather Ball and sent it in range of the subsequent Aqua Jet, or I could have helped. But if they, you know, Heat Wave and I protected there and they called it out, then I lose, right? Because they know I'm not Scarf. If I were to go for Helping Hand or like just Weather Ball and a Last Respects and get the KO that way, and I live, which we now know I could have lived, but like it's also up in the air as to whether or not I get KO'd by it because I'm calcing for Timid Delphox on my end. If I calc for Modest, then I have no clue actually, because we don't know what it's running. That could have done it. Or I could have actually just gotten the high roll, Helping Hand, and Aqua Jet, right? Had my play work out because I just get the better RNG. Yes. These are 3 routes that all could have won me the game. And everyone, how do I explain it? Everyone like that watches the stream will watch me make the play that does not result in a win. It's not necessarily the wrong play, but it didn't work out because it's a nuanced interaction between me and my opponent. They can call things out. And there's always one person who will, after the play was made, comment, the play was the other one, as though I have not also just experienced that. Like, yeah, man, I'm sure you would have also, in the moment, gone for, you know, risked the hit instead of just gone for Helping Hand. It's like such a nothing statement. It's like, you know, if you did the other play, that would have won you the game. Like, thank you, viewer. Thank you, dear viewer. All right. Into this team. Are you planning on going to see Worlds in person, or are you just going to watch the live stream? I actually have been invited as a creator, so I'm going. At this point, if you see your viewers backseating, just challenge them and ban them for chat if you win. I would, but that gives them too much attention. That's too much attention. That incentivizes backseating. It's not so much backseating that I don't like. It's hindsight backseating, where it's like, Mr. Streamer, if you made the play that you didn't make, you would have won. Yeah, explaining in hindsight if it wasn't, you know, a nuanced outcome is not helpful. This really is just Tailwind, I think. All right. Where's Worlds this year? San Francisco. As the Lord of all things hindsight, I declare that you should have seen the low roll coming. All right. Trying to think here. I didn't think they'd lead Basque. I just didn't see the value there. Obviously, my Tailwind's quite good here, but they could also just Tailwind up, right? I am Mystic Water Bask. I think I just KO Charizard. Like, I'm bulky. I'm not going to drop to their last respects, but their Charizard could just drop to my last respects because I'm Mystic Water. And I don't think that they're going to respect that. Okay, cool. They're not respecting it. I think I just take a KO if they're not, like, super bulky. Goodbye, Charizard. Thank you. Cool. Obviously not the problem Pokemon, but good for me. Now I might drop to the last respects, which I would not have prior. Okay, cool. They wave crashed. Yeah, I figured they wouldn't respect it, because if I were a bulky Charizard, I would not respect it. Staraptor, and that's just base Staraptor. Why would you bring base Staraptor to this matchup? And I can switch my moves. Do I really want to Encore that? I think I'd rather just KO Staraptor. Does this get it? It might. Yep. That KOs through Sun? Yep. Okay, they are Scarf. They are Scarf, and now they're locked into a horrible move for the situation, so I just win. Okay! Cool. The fact your Bask outspeeds his is crazy. I Tailwinded. That's why we outsped. Alright. That was a little bit shorter of a review. But I do have a take on the team. I think the team's good. I unfortunately didn't really get the chance to use the Vanillux in the 2 games that I tried out with it. However, I really did like what we had there. I didn't get to use, you know, this thing either. It's a Pyro team. I think the best way to describe it is, like, this is a good Pyro team. I had fun with it. I lost 1 game off of a nuanced play, and I won another game as a stomp, right? My take on Pyro will always be the same. It's never going to be the best fire type. Never going to be the best fire type, but it's certainly not Houndoom, which is a blessing, right? That being said, I do like the idea of the Vanillux. It never really came into play. It could have in that other game if I decided to bring it, but I was fairly confident that, like, I didn't really need it there. But I do understand why it's here. Like, Ice and Fire are a very good offensive duo. They kind of cover each other perfectly. That's why we don't have, you know, an Ice-Fire type except for Galarian, Darmanitan, Zen mode. But I like the team. I think this is good. I'm going to put it on the... We'll give it not a light cooking, but, like, a pretty good cooking. If Club's team was, like, my most enthusiastic cooking, and Gabriel's team was, like, a light cooking, this one's, like, mid cooking. Which is good, because these are all positive reviews, right? I haven't given a can it yet. You know, canning it is when, like, the team's bad, right? So, can it or cook it, you know, we're going to give it cook it. Next up, we have a team from Umber. This is a Meowstic team. Rental code is 1QYEMXSRQP. All right. So, this one looks pretty interesting. It is a Mega Raichu Y team. One thing off the bat I'm going to criticize a little bit is I think that the Mega Raichu Y isn't bulky enough. It might seem like a weird criticism when it's already max HP, but I know it's going to become an issue at some point because you do need a bit of defense investment to guarantee to live those sucker punches. Max HP, I think, will get you there. But there's a couple of moves that you just want to make sure that you can, like, live those. Incineroar should be able to help out, though. As long as it's not like Black Glass's Sucker Punch, then yeah. But Raichu Staraptor is a tried and true combo. I do like support Meowstic for Staraptor. Yawn, Charm, Light Screen, Psychic Noise. And of course, Raichu helps out with offensive Incineroar, which... Oh, we're not offensive. We're bulky. And Sylveon. Yeah. This should be interesting. Also, Life Orb Meowscarada. It is Overgrow Meowscarada, which is not typically what you see. However, Life Orb Meowscarada does make sense if it's not Choice Scarf, because it is really easy to get locked into a type you don't want to be if you're running if you're not running Choice Scarf. You know, you end up just losing out on stab. So if it is Life Orb, I do think that Overgrow makes more sense. All right. Let's continue. Is Meowscarada missing an EV? I don't think so. It might be. Ooh, Umbreon. Meow could be good here. My concern is if it's Yawn Umbreon, it's going to be a little bit annoying. I'm going to say that this is actually probably a Raichu game. Actually, Tailwind Staraptor is also just really good. Like, I could Tailwind immediately and then just get value with Sylveon. Oh my god, wait, what if we ran Sub-Sylveon at some point? I think Raichu Sub-Sylveon is actually a cool concept to explore later, but Sylveon's really good here in the right position. Against Tailwind, it can be a little bit frustrating. Is this a Raichu game or is it a Staraptor game? I'm going to say it's a Raichu game. It's definitely a Raichu game. But again, I wish the Raichu was a little bulkier. With Charm, we might be able to get away with it. But at that point, it's Sylveon, Meowstic lead, Raichu in the back. Incineroar, I think. Meowscarada is also a decent option, but we're not Sash, so probably Incineroar. All right. Knock off one-shots for rigs. Okay. This is a pretty okay lead. I don't mind just going for Hyper Voice damage. Hyper Voice Yawn's actually really good here. Because I'm not going to take too much from Delphox, and being able to force it out immediately is going to be really nice. My only concern is if they have fake tears, it could be kind of bad. And it would make sense for this team to have fake tears on it. Sunny Day, okay, this could be really bad already. Usually you don't see Sunny Day on this kind of team, just because it doesn't help out Staraptor. Okay, Light Screen's going to be good next turn. Wait, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I just Hyper Voice Light Screen. If they want to stay in, we should live. It's just if they double the Sylveon, that's where the issue arises. And honestly, a Sleeping Delphox is pretty good for us. And I can't protect anyways, so. Because they'll just Encore me. Alright, unfortunately one of our better options for dealing with Garchomp is gone. However, it's not the end of the world. Incineroar, Raichu. Yeah, if there's a Garchomp, we're just kind of cooked. definitely going to see a Garchomp in the back here in a second. I really didn't think that they were so willing to let Delphox go to sleep, but it makes sense. I think they saw my team so I didn't really have an answer to Garchomp and went, yeah, it's worth it just to get rid of Sylveon. There it is. All right. Good game. We can't win that. Definitely seeing a little bit of a weakness there to Chomp. It's not necessarily Chomp itself. It's mostly that, like, you don't really want to bring Staraptor to the Delphox matchup. So Raichu's better there. And I think that, like, the team needs a... It's just a little bit of a pin. I think the team needs a better way of, like, dealing with opposing Tailwind. All right. This is the VR one. This is the VR one. The VR one doesn't like Raichu very much. However, I don't know if we're bulky enough. Meowstic Raichu seems fine. Incineroar in the back. We definitely need Sylveon is the thing. And I think it's Incineroar in the back because no coverage Meowscarada doesn't really do much here. King Gambit seems like it's going to be an issue, though. Is this the Habanberry Garchomp team? I think it is. But that shouldn't matter here. You're on Twitch? I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube. Okay, Frostlass Gambit. That's not that bad. Unfortunately, we're not Reflect, so I can't do what I want to do here. If it's Sash Gambit, that could be really bad. I also am not certain we one-shot. I'm going to Light Screen Zap Cannon. I think King Gambit wants to protect anyways. Suflo, thanks for becoming a member. Okay, no Protect from the Gambit. At the very least, we get a little bit more value out of Sylveon here. Is it normally Chople? Yeah, they're usually Chople, Sash, or Black Glasses. So, like, 2 out of 3 of them eat the hit. Kowtow. Okay, that's not that bad. Sylveon comes in, and it's actually in a really good spot. Have to be careful with the Raichu because we're probably Sucker Punch range. Okay. I think Hyper Voice... Okay, we're still slower than Frostlass. That's probably not enough speed in the Sylveon. That's pretty bad. Still slower than Frostlass. Why does Sylveon run Detect? Because it's the same move as Protect. Yeah, still being slower than Frostlass is bad. Probably want just a little bit more speed. Frostlass is just common enough where that's going to matter a lot. Then why not Protect? To be honest, all right, so there is a reason. I'm gonna explain it in a minute, but like, there's no reason to even like, you know, be concerned about that at that point. Like, if it's the same move, it's the same move, you know. All right. Okay, so Imprison is a move that blocks other Pokemon on the field from using the same move as you, that you have, right? So, if you see a Pokemon that has Imprison, you're going to be really happy that you're running Detect over Protect, because more Pokemon can Imprison Protect than can Imprison Detect. So it's better to just run Detect. Okay, cool, we crit. But to be honest, most of the time it doesn't matter, but you really should be running Detect technically. It just usually isn't going to matter. You just technically should run it, you know? Ah, man. Okay, I really don't like this position. Parting Shot Detect. I have to get in my Raichu. Opponent just got a PayPal notification, yeah. Crap, okay. I have to hope that they just annihilate my Incineroar here. Like, it is better for me to lose Incineroar than to not. And I'm not going to, unfortunately. Man, how do I do this? Okay. I could go for the double. We're bulky. It's probably better if I just go for the Hyper Voice. Okay, cool. We should live whatever this thing's gonna go for. They have to crit us to one-shot us because it's a bulky Sylveon. Okay, just don't. Cool. Now we're in not a terrible spot. Unfortunately, it's a very nuanced spot once again. All right. It is unfortunately a very nuanced field position, or board position. Let me say out loud really quick what could happen. I can Focus Blast, try to KO the Garchomp, and then lose my Sylveon to Sneasel, or to Sneasler. They could Protect, but also, I think they might be Scarf. Are they Scarf? Hold on, did we see? No, yeah, they're Scarf. Hold on. Yeah. They're Scarf. They're Scarf, which actually makes this kind of worse. Because actually, I have to hope that they just throw. Okay, I have to fake out Garchomp and I have to Hyper Voice. Because didn't the Stomping go before the fake out, or go before the Poison Jab or something? I just have to hope they throw. Because I'm pretty sure it's Scarf. Yeah, it's Scarf. Okay, they don't throw. Alright. Roarveil's gone. I think we just lose. Because like I said, it's Scarf Garchomp. We zap... Oh, sorry, I zap Cannon because it doesn't matter, but... they KO us with Stomping Tantrum. Yeah, I'm noticing an issue with the team. It's, the team doesn't really like Garchomp very much. And that normally wouldn't be an issue for this type of team if it weren't for the fact that it doesn't have ways to deal with Garchomp partners. It doesn't have a lot of ways to deal with Garchomp partners. So, let me take a closer look. Let me examine this. I don't think it's a Cannet. I don't think it is at all. But I do think that there's like vast improvements that can be made. Raichu needs to be bulkier. There's sets for Raichu that will live like, you know, close combats and like sucker punches and stuff. Max HP isn't cutting it. You usually don't even run special attack investment on Raichu, and sometimes you don't even run max speed. Sylveon probably wants to be faster than Frostlass, because Frostlass is what? Let me see. It wants to be faster than Frostlass after Zap Cannon. Frostlass hits at level 50. Sorry. $189. So 190 divided by 2. It's 95. 95 speed is pretty reasonable for Sylveon. Yeah, you can hit 95 pretty easily with Sylveon and still be bulky. I didn't get a chance to use the Staraptor, but I don't really see the issue with the Staraptor set. I think that's probably fine. Staraptor is probably like strong enough. I would honestly argue that the thing that isn't really pulling the weight is the Meowstic. Meowstic, it seems, is there to deal with opposing physical attackers, and it runs Charm to boost the attack on the Staraptor while helping out Raichu. However, the Pokemon that Raichu is most afraid of are two Pokemon that don't actually really care if they get charmed. Sneasler, because it runs Wide Herb a lot, and it'll just get the attack stat back. And the other one is King Gambit, which you just can't charm in the first place. So I would say that if you're gonna run this, you're probably better off with dual screens. And also, like, Meowstic does get Fake Out. I don't know how good Yawn is if you don't want to run dual screens, and if you want to keep the charm. I think that you run Fake Out over Yawn. Light Screen might not even be super necessary either. Like, Light Screen's fine. Another thing is that I think that Staraptor does need coverage. Knockoff Sucker Punch Flower Trick is fine. But the thing is that, like, the team isn't terribly bulky. It relies on screens to be bulky, and it most of the time doesn't even get the screens up. These Pokemon, other than the Incineroar and the Staraptor, are quite frail, and Meowscarada is also quite frail, and it's using a Life Orb instead of an item that'll give it more longevity on the field, like a Focus Sash or a Choice Scarf, where it'll outspeed everything anyways. I think that Meowscarada probably wants the Choice Scarf or the Focus Sash, because that allows you to run a coverage move, and it's going to get you a lot more value then, and it just guarantees like more longevity. I think that the weak link is, even though I didn't bring the Meowscarada, it was mostly because there weren't matchups where I thought it was like super necessary. I understand what it's there for. The Sucker Punch is able to deal with opposing Basculegion and stuff. However, I think that all things considered, you probably do just want King Gambit in that spot if you're going to keep Meowstic, or if you'd rather keep like Meowscarada, adjust it to a Sash, and I think that Meowstic is probably what has to go to get it to function a little bit better. It could just be that I pulled some pretty bad matchups, but the two matchups that I pulled are not uncommon teams. There are teams that you're going to see a lot on ladder, so yeah, I would say bulkier Raichu. Staraptor is probably fine. I think that you need a faster Sylveon. Incineroar is definitely fine. Maybe want to go more offensive. I would argue that that is probably the case. And like one of these guys needs to be a Basculegion or something, because Basculegion really rounds out these Raichu Staraptor teams in a way that can't really be discounted. I think that Basculegion is definitely a missing link. And if you're going to run Meowscarada as like the centerpiece of the team, like this is my Pokemon that I want to put on the team, then Basculegion's got to find a place on here, probably over the Meowstic. So yeah, there's a couple of routes to improve this one. I do think that it's a fun team, and I do get what it's going for. I just think that the pieces are just, all the pieces are there, they're just struggling to fit together. So I'm going to put this one right in the middle of my tier list between Can It and Cook It. I think it's savable. This is a savable team that can win games. It can win games. I didn't pull the games that it could win, frankly, but it is a team that can be improved and fixed up and made a little bit more consistent while still keeping the identity I think that the creator really wants. But yeah, thank you for submitting this. I appreciate that. So far, we've only gotten cool teams. All right. Next team. Next team up, submitted by Super Meme Bros. It looks like it's a Mega Blaziken King Gambit team, which is pretty fun. Rental code is 4LB15L9N22. Taking a look at this team, I love any team that is just a bunch of Pokemon with a Garchomp weakness and then a Ninetales. That is my favorite genre of team, frankly. I think that genre of team always melds well with the way that I play the game. And I like Raichu on this team. Raichu, King Gambit, Basket Legion, like I said with the last team, is like a combination that is always going to be strong. And I think that Raichu Ninetales also is like just really, really hard to deal with in a lot of situations. So let's build the team. Let's get some games with it. Let's see what we can do. All right. Battle. Ranked battles. And it is... Where'd it go? There it is. Oh wait, I didn't check to see how the Raichu was built. I gotta double check the Raichu build. I just assumed. Okay, yeah. That's got a little bit more defense. I trust that. Raichu definitely seems not terrible here. Raichu seems not terrible. It can be a little bit difficult. I want to bring Blaziken. It's just that Zarina and like Whimsicott really make it difficult for Blaziken to function in front of like Pokemon like Basket Legion. I'm thinking that Raichu Gambit's not a bad lead. I could also just lead Whimsicott. Get my Tailwind up, guarantee the value, and then win in the late game. King Gambit Bask. I think I believe in that. I believe in that. Delphox Gambit. Alright. I think it's best... I can probably sack Whimsicott here, realistically. I can also just Zap Cannon Delphox, frankly. Oh, wait, we're not low kick. Maybe it is a get rid of King Gambit angle. I don't want to let Delphox get like a nasty plot or anything off for free. I also don't think I necessarily need the Tailwind. I'm just going to double the King Gambit to cover for the possible, well, for one, a switch, but also the possible Focus Sash. Heat Wave. Dodge on Whimsicott's nice. Get to maintain the sash. Raichu doesn't love that, but it's not that bad. Six, 7. No, that can't be. Ooh, not a KO. All right. Special attack drop. I can Tailwind up here. Tailwind Protect's not a bad play. But also, if I'm literally Focus Sash, I get more value out of Protect, Moonblast, and then going for my Tailwind. He doesn't have Protect. No, I'm pretty sure it's going to be 4 attack Sash King Gambit on that kind of build. Yo, thanks for the super chat, Tyler. Thanks for teaching and making good content, Mr. Boosted. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, don't burn me. That ruins this whole play. That ruins, like, this whole play. All right. Okay. Most likely a Sucker Punch coming out. I'm gonna go Basket Legion here. I'm gonna get my Tailwind off. Yeah. Cool. They weren't willing to risk that. All right. Let's go back into Raichu. KC, thanks for the raid. Back into Raichu. I do have Fake Out pressure on King Gambit, which is really nice. Okay. I'm gonna Wave Crash. And Fake Out. Because I'm pretty sure they're Sash. I think they're Sash 4 attacks. No? Okay. How bulky are we? Can we live this? No, we can't. Well, maybe. Honestly, I think I just have to send it. I just have to send it. Yeah, I had to hope they weren't black glasses and that I somehow lived. We don't have low kick. Otherwise, I'd have actually a pretty decent play here. Because they have to Sucker Punch Raichu. Yeah, I really don't have a play here. Can you not just Aqua Jet and ignore the Sucker Punch? We already locked Wave Crash before. Or Choice Scarf. We were locked in the Wave Crash. Alright, yeah. I think that's a little bit more doable if you aren't Choice Scarf. A lot of the Raichu teams that succeed aren't Choice Scarf on Basque. Mostly just because it's not, like, super necessary. But also because, like, being able to switch your moves in front of King Gambit's actually not, like, a terrible thing for the team. Let's see. I'd say we bring Raichu Blaziken versus Gambit. Yeah, but it was Gambit and Delphox, so like bringing Blaziken there doesn't seem great. Okay, I know for a fact Raichu's good into this, so. Well, maybe not. Maybe Blaziken's better. Blaziken definitely seems better, actually. I'm gonna say... Blaziken Ninetales isn't bad. Makes it really easy to get rid of Pepper. King Gambit. Bask. Alright. Why does Sucker Punch work on opponents going for their partner instead of the user? Because it doesn't determine if you're attacking the user, it determines if you're attacking at all. If you're using a move that does damage on that turn, that's what matters. Alright. Yeah, it's a pretty decent lead. I think they have to at least fake out Blaziken. I'm gonna go for the Blizzard here. I'm not really concerned about Ninetales too much. I want damage on the Sneasel. Sneasler, rather. I think they do have to fake out Blaziken, otherwise they're in trouble. Ooh, okay. Don't like that. They're gonna get unburdened. That's not good. Oh, we're faster. We're faster than Frostlass. Interesting. Warveil goes up. We do have a KO on Sneasel. I keep calling him Sneasel. Sneasler. The only issue is that close combat's going to do a lot of damage, and I kind of think I need... I don't think I need it that much. Honestly, I think I also have a KO. No, I have to Flare Blitz it. Okay, that's gonna suck. They're just gonna Shadow Ball. But I am just gonna end up being faster than them, right? Blizzard, okay, that doesn't do that much. I guess they don't have Shadow Ball. Oh, okay, that actually did do a lot. What? Hello? I guess they kind of realized that Blaziken eventually just outspeeds anyways. Interesting. All right, let's get another one. That one I don't want to count that one. I'm not counting that one. That one just ended immediately. You'll be forfeiting over anything. I think they forfeit over no freeze, but I was gonna Flare Blitz anyways. Okay. It's actually a really good Blaziken Ninetales game, I can't lie. Blaziken Ninetales can cook this whole lead if I play it right. I think it's better just to do Blaziken on lead, and then if they're Aerodactyl, Whimsicott's really good. Whimsicott's really good. I think it's Blaziken, Aerodactyl, Ninetales, Basque. But I have to be really careful. I gotta be really careful because we don't have a lot of ways to deal with King Gambit. And to be honest, if we lose our Blaziken too early, then we don't beat King Gambit. How come Raichu X doesn't get used much? It doesn't get used much because it really just, it's not a great physical attacker. If you use Volt Tackle with electric terrain, you mostly just KO yourself and sometimes fail to KO the opponent because Raichu has really low HP. It has very, very low HP. Calls Whimsicott Arrow. We're getting pretty deep into the stream. My brain's melting. I'm sorry. Okay. That's not a bad lead at all. That's not bad at all. I'm actually going to do something kind of crazy mode. I shouldn't do that. That's stupid. I'm going to go directly into Ninetales. And Moonblast Incineroar. All right. Charizard. Honestly, anything to knock it in range. Anything to knock it in range. I don't mind. Because, like, I'm going to end up having to hit a -1 Rock Slide at some point anyways. There's Earthquake. Shouldn't do too much. Go for Protect. I don't think I really need the Tailwind. I'm just going to Moonblast Charizard again to guarantee. Because I know what's going to happen is I'm going to go into Blaziken, and then I'm going to have to hit a freaking Rock Slide, and it's going to be at -1 because the Incineroar is going to come out. I know that's about to happen. So I'm doing this. They should add different trainer Mega Evolutions to the shop, am I right? Yeah, I think that's a good idea, actually. That'd be cool. Do you take viewer battles? Not really anymore. I might in the future. It's just that I spend too much time, like, doing other stuff. So I don't really have time for the viewer battles. Alright, I need Heat Wave to connect. Solar Beam? Hello? What are you Solar Beaming for? Kid named Encore. What the heck is he Solar Beaming for? All right, Ninetales, do you live this? Nope. That sucks. Kid named Encore. No reason not to go for CC Moonblast. At least I want to go Chomp. Okay, fair. All right. Running out of good answers to Garchomp. And they got rid of Whimsicott. Not that bad of a position, frankly. It's just the existence of King Gambit that's bad. And I encored them into Solar Beam. Okay, yeah, we're fine. But we just win. Boom. Ask not for who the bell tolls. It tolls for Garchomp. All right, bring out the Gambit. There it is. All right, I'm going to tell you guys a secret. I'm clicking Flare Blitz because if they're Focus Sash, if they're Focus Sash, then there's a chance I burn. And if they're not, I bypass the Choppleberry. Okay, there's Focus Sash. Ooh, wait, I could lose now, totally. Let me see, how much recoil do I take from that? I'm at -1 defense, too. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. They have to crit me. Good game. Nice. Well, I checked out your video about underrated picks and experimented with Palafin. It's quite the good pick on Protect the Queen Mega Floette. I added Mega Manectric for even more switching. Yeah, that's fun. Cool. I'm glad you liked it. All right. Cool. We got out of there. That was an interesting couple of turns, frankly. Very interesting couple of turns. Not sure how I feel about that. But looking at the team, what is my feedback here? I think the team's fine for a Blaziken team, you know. Not sure how much Raichu's really contributing. Not sure how much it's really contributing here. It's still good, right? I think there was a Blaziken Raichu team that did good in Victory Road. Let me look at that. I might be wrong though, but I want to double check because I might be able to point you in a good direction. Blaziken Raichu. No, it was Blaziken Floette. I was mistaken. The thing with Raichu is that it usually wants another special attacking partner that has like good spread damage, because Raichu doesn't have spread damage. The Blaziken does have Rock Slide, which is pretty nice. The duo itself is just really weak to Garchomp, and while there is a Ninetales on here to deal with that, that isn't always going to be a good solution, because it is just a little bit awkward into some matchups with like good speed control. That being said, I think the team's fine. Like, I actually don't know exactly what I would say. I like the concept of Prankster Encore into immediate disable. I didn't get a chance to do that. Honestly, had I done that into the Charizard in the final game, I think that it was I think that it would have been a lot cleaner of an end game, and it would have been a lot more fun. That being said, yeah, I think this is a cook. This is like a strong cook. It's a strong cook. I just think that the Raichu isn't providing a ton for the team as much as the Blaziken is. So maybe like drop Raichu for... What's a good secondary Mega? Honestly, like you get away with... don't want to say Staraptor. It could be worth looking into... I mean, Raichu's probably fine. I don't know what another Mega would be, really. Floette? The only thing is then you're running Triple Fairy, and I don't know how much you really want Triple Fairy in like a metagame with Golden Go running around. Not that Golden Go is actually that big of a threat to the team, because, you know, King Gambit's here. Yeah, maybe Floette. Maybe Mega Floette. Anyways. That's a strong cook. That's a strong cook. But that's all the teams we have for Team Review Tuesday, which is going to come out on a Wednesday. Thank you to everyone who submitted the teams. Remember, if you're in the $20 Patreon tier, you get access to Team Review Tuesday, where you just submit your team, and every Tuesday I sit down and I use all of them and review them and give you feedback. We do that every Tuesday now. That is now a tradition. But yeah. We also hit a goal today. We're about to build with Beedrill. If you're watching this video on YouTube, though, you know, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.